Hi, welcome to Tab Finance. In less than 10 minutes, you will understand my algo trading strategy for intraday. A simple, repeatable, and measurable framework. We will see what to watch, when to act, where to exit, and how to avoid the traps that sabotage more than 90% of beginners. At the end of this video series, you will know exactly how to start properly. In the next videos, we will begin by explaining the strategy. We will backtest all of that, and we will also code the strategy on an MT5 EA to backtest it. This will allow us to measure the expected performance of the strategy precisely. I call it algo trading because the mindset is algorithmic. Clear rules, not arbitrary, and the willingness to test our ideas. Even if we execute manually, we think like an algo. If A, then B, otherwise nothing. Often, beginners tend to use too many indicators. It creates too much noise in the final result. Here, I will make you two promises. You will understand what you are doing. You will be able to improve while measuring yourself. In an upcoming video, we will explain how to calculate the risk per trade, how to set a target in OR, and how to make decisions. So to execute the strategy, we will need three simple things. A charting platform like TradingView or an equivalent, an execution platform, demo at first like MT5 with a demo account for example, and a basic trading journal. A Google Sheet will be more than enough. What sets this strategy apart significantly from others is that there will absolutely be no need for TradingView Premium and no need for a ton of indicators. It will be based on 1 to 2 trades maximum per day, with a minimum risk-reward ratio of 1 to 5. What does that mean? It means that when you bet 10 euros for example, if the trade is successful, you will win 50 euros. This means that with this strategy at a minimum, we will earn 5 times what we bet when the trade is successful. We will often work with gold, as this is the asset for which the strategy was designed. But the method also applies to major forex pairs, indices, and cryptocurrency. For this strategy, a key timing must be respected, which we will see in the next videos. But to give you an idea, it will be during the London session or the New York session. The rest of the time, you will need to be patient. One good plan per session is better than 5 impulsive ones. The core of our strategy will be the H1-M5 duo. That means the 1-hour candles with the 5-minute candles. The H1 will give us the market direction, and the M5 will allow us to enter the market. Later, we will also use the H4 on the daily, meaning the 4-hour candles and the daily candles, to have a broader view. Here is an example of a market entry I made yesterday at 2 o'clock at the timing moment. It's a trade on gold with a risk-reward ratio of about 10 to 1. What will be the next videos? So initially, to make the algo trade strategy work, we will look at the market structure that our strategy uses. This will allow us to place the highs and lows and thus obtain a structure. Once the structure is created, we will see two principles, the EPA and the IPA. This will depend on the structure. Afterwards, we will look at entry timings, as I mentioned earlier. Finally, we will see how to enter. These videos will be really very important. In the meantime, we will conduct various tutorials, such as how to calculate your position size, how to calculate risk, how to place the stop, how to place the take profit. We will cover all of this in the upcoming videos. We will also make videos on psychology and discipline, because these are really very important things to master. In fact, they might even be the hardest things to master, especially when we see all the other retail traders. That's how most lose money due to psychological biases and a huge lack of discipline. Like entering when the strategy is not valid, moving the stop because we think we are protected, but we just lose more, taking profits at the wrong time, or trading outside the timing for this strategy, which is absolutely not recommended since the strategy has specific statistics for specific times. So, in these future videos, we will establish a routine to follow. Once the strategy is explained, we will backtest it. And to perform this backtest, we will code the strategy on MetaTrader 5. Then, we will simulate the spread, slippage, and commissions to see the real gains of the strategy. If you do not understand these words, do not worry. We will cover all of this in the upcoming videos. So what is the algo trading strategy? It is when we use 1-hour candles for context, 5-minute candles for execution, with clear rules, a fixed risk, objective measures, and a process that we will codify and test together. We will later add the 4-hour candles on daily candles to provide a more macro view. If all this makes sense to you, then subscribe and activate the bell for future videos. Of course, all this is just educational content and not investment advice. Start small. Always test your strategies before executing them, and stick to your fixed risk. See you in the next video about market structure.